Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode inside of the beta world. To start us off, I'm actually headed over to the Dwarven Mines, or I suppose the Dwarven Entrance, so that I can continue work on that, and hopefully sometime soon it can become the Dwarven Mines, and I can do a little bit of mining trip and get some gold and iron so we can expand the railway. For those of you who may be joining us for the first time and haven't seen it, this is the entrance to the Dwarven City. Looking quite nice, and this is the staircase down that I am looking to expand. It goes quite a ways already, but it's going to go quite a ways more before I'm done. With a little bit of cleanup in the form of stone and stone slabs, this is looking much better. I did explore that cave, and it had quite a bit of coal and some iron, I think probably around 20 something. So, yeah, that's probably all I'm going to do for now, at least over here. We are down to, let's see, Y level 42. So we're getting closer. I do want to be around Y level 30-ish when I finally start to properly build the bottom area. But for now, that is all I'm going to do over here, at least. Back on the rail once more. Gonna make my way over to the orchard that is currently just some fancy looking hills, but hopefully soon it will be fancy hills with paths and trees, a little more akin to an orchard. Well, before I get started on the pathway over at the orchard, there is something that needs to be addressed, and that is the railway. If I am to make the path, I'm going to need to know where the station is over there. So I'm thinking I'm going to have it come through just kind of straight for a while into this mountain a bit and make it like a tunnel. And when it comes out, I would like to have it come towards the orchard a bit, so, you know, the other railway is so far just completely straight, so this one I would like to, vary a little bit. to make it a little less strange looking. So I'll probably bring it to about this area, do a small wooden bridge sort of thing over this gap, and have it ride up right along where this hill sort of starts. And then that way, the path can kind of come up through here, over there, swoop up, and then, you know, arc over to here, which I think will look quite nice. But it's not time for that yet. I would like to get the rest of the pathway, there we go, the rest of the pathway done before doing that. So what that's going to involve is kind of bringing it down through here and pretty much just following these slabs that I've already placed. It's going to branch off here. This one's going to go towards the station over there, as well as come down and head towards the water over there. And then this pathway is also going to branch here and come down to the water there. And then, of course, there will be small little pathways throughout to kind of interweave between the trees that are going to be here. But that's the gist of it. Now, the way I'm going to do this is going to be pretty self-explanatory. Despite having the cobblestone slabs, I don't think I'm going to use much, if any, cobblestone. And it's more so just going to be digging out some spots and sprinkling in some stone and gravel to give the path some substance. And I probably could get away with some cobblestone here and there. Yes, that actually does look quite nice. Yeah. But I won't bore you to tears with that. I'll just kind of cut to when that's done and show you how it looks. And I think it's going to look very good. I'm looking forward to this. Here it is. Looks pretty good. I really, really like how it came out. Definitely gives the established road look, but still looks, you know, suitably unkempt. For this intersection right here, where this is going to go off into the water, I still have to do some more terraforming, so I'm not doing that yet, and the same can be said about this path over here. I'm not sure how I want to do it, and I still have to, you know, make the land suit my needs. Or I suppose, change the land to better suit my needs. But no, this looks very good. I'm quite pleased. I had a pretty neat idea while I was working on this, and that was... No, I don't want trapdoors. Maybe I can... make, like, street signs, sort of. Sort of directing... That only makes one. Oh, man. And they don't stack. Oh, man. That's okay. Anyways, so the idea is I can make street signs or intersection signs. Probably not here. But rather here. And if I grab a sign and say, put like manor and have some arrows, and then I can put a sign here. Well, actually, perhaps what I could do is put manor still there, and then station. Actually, I would need to do that first. And there it is. And then if I were to put another one here, can do that again. And then, of course, have a sign on this side. You know, pointing in that direction. Which I think is pretty nice. I think that looks okay. I'm sure there's some way I could make that better. I wonder if I can... No, I can't. I was going to try and put a trapdoor on top of it, but you can only place those on the side of blocks, so that would not do me much good. Maybe, just maybe, what I do is instead, I just place it on top. And do that. That's not terrible. And if I really wanted, I know I just placed the sign and now I'm going to break it, but I could do another sign. And just stack them on top of each other. I actually quite like that. I think that looks very cool. I do want it to be slightly angled, though. Yes. No, that's quite cool. So yes, that's what I would like to do for now here. Done. Well, at least regarding the path, I can fix that one up here later. But now, the important part is making it an orchard. It's currently just a bunch of hills with grass on it, and that's not any good. That's not terribly helpful. So it'd be nice to fix that. I think this is definitely... The trees are definitely going to help the area look a little nicer. I can't say I'm a huge fan of this, like, beach, desert, whatever you want to call this, sandy-colored grass. Definitely a fan of the more vibrant green, but I think once there's a bunch of trees there with the leaves, because even over here you can see the leaves look much greener than the grass. despite being affected by the same shading. So I think it'll help this area a lot, and I think it'll look great regardless. So I'll probably plant a couple saplings, and I'm not going to do the interweaving paths through all of the trees until they're grown, because that, I want it to be more free-flowing. It's less like it was intentionally placed, and more like these are just the paths that, say, the workers took to best get through the trees and, you know, do the collecting. But I think that's enough talking. I will do a little more work here and plant some saplings. I have plenty of those at the main village, and they definitely need a use. Quite frankly, I wasn't expecting to need so many saplings, but 2 stacks only got me this far. Only about half of what I've already terraformed. But I think it will fill out nicely. I may end up sort of curating the trees. Like this. I'm gonna take this down because I don't want any trees that you really can't walk under. That wouldn't make sense for an orchard where they're supposed to be collecting the, fruits of the trees. So I am going to pay particular attention to that and kind of go through and break any trees that don't meet that sort of standard. But other than that, I mean, it's going to be pretty random, as random as, trees in Minecraft get. I'm going to leave big trees like that as well. I think they're reasonable to include. But I'm not going to have them packed as tightly together as this. You can see that they're all relatively spread out. The leaves will definitely be touching each other. That's kind of a given. But most importantly is, in real orchards, the trees are separated just enough that they can grow and do what they need to do, but they're not stuck on top of each other. So, they can all get the sunlight they need. They're not fighting or competing for any resources. They're far enough away that that's not an issue. And, obviously there's some like these two. They're pretty close together. But I think that's going to be okay, because it's only a couple, and, a little bit of variance never hurt. But for now, I think it's just a matter of time passing and trees growing. I think it may have ended up more like a forest than I had intended. I might need to get rid of the big trees. Not just the ones that are, you know, as tall as this, but the large trees. In fact, I don't need that sapling. I probably don't need this one. Or this one. There's quite a few areas that are gonna need a once over. And yeah, there's quite a few trees that are not as tall as my standard is, but you know, that's what happens when you just let them grow. But I think that time lapse turned out pretty cool. I imagine it's gonna look nice in the post. But that's all for this area. I think I would like to work on the rail coming up to here so I can finish the path and kinda wrap up this side of the hill as well. Well, this is the second time I've had to sleep, so I've probably been doing this for right about 20 minutes. And I can say with confidence that the trees are woefully keen on growing short. Here's another one that I apparently replanted and grew short again. These things are not fun to deal with. But that's okay. The forest is also far, far easier to walk through, which tells me that whatever I'm doing, it's working. So, I'd say I'm quite pleased with that. I'm also pleased that the tree farm is already living up to its name. I got a bunch of wood from cleaning up the forest. I think a prime example of my incredible growth rate for the trees is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trees that I planted. And of those 7, 1, 2, 3 of them are short. Almost half of all the trees that have grown over here are too short for my liking. Which is quite an unfortunate number, an unfortunate metric. But I will worry about those later. I think I've had just about enough working with trees. Maybe someday I will come back here and do completely custom trees instead of just vanilla ones, but that would be a project for another day. And by another day, I mean many days in the future. Many, many days. It's definitely going to be quite a commitment. But either way, it's quite nice if I were to come down to here onto the path and kind of, you know, just ignore the side of the hill that doesn't have any trees on it. It's definitely cozy. You feel very tucked in, I suppose you could say. To finish off the episode, I think it would be a good idea to take care of the rail here. So, I've already explained earlier in the episode what I wanted to do with this. So, I'm not really gonna explain it again. I don't think that's necessary. One of the important things I have to make sure of is the Y level. This is at Y76. And where I want to go, at least along the path I had thought of, can also stick to right about Y level 76. And then across here, over where I want to put the station, right around here is Y level 83, but I could probably get away with 82 or 81. Probably do 82. But that is only 6 blocks that we need to go up. So I can do that pretty gradually without much fuss, probably right along here. Just change up the terrain a little. But now I know I don't really need to do any elevation changes until I get across this gap here. So that makes it a lot easier. As I'm digging this out, I'm kind of noticing that I'm probably going to need to put some trees in this area and maybe do a little more terraforming. Because it's either going to need to be trees or something else, but this pathway to the nether portal area is quite visible from here, and it's a little too visible for my liking. I want it to be just kind of implied that something's there, not like, oh, you see the entire thing directly in front of you and it's really obvious. So I'll need to do that. But for now, I'm just going to focus on getting the rails sort of up and running. Well, this looks pretty nice. I'm liking where this is coming out. I knew about where it was going to end up, but this is perfect. I'm probably going to have it start to curve out a little, just so that I'm not going through the wall for much longer, because this is 715, x715, or negative 715 to be precise. So, well, actually, I wouldn't be going through it for too much longer. But even still, if I just move it over like a block, I think that would be pretty nice. And then, you know, it starts to properly curve to make its way over to here. Anyways, so yes, I think honestly, yeah, right here I can just, well, okay, well, I'd like to align it somewhat with one of the sections of the rail. Over on this one, there's a single powered rail every so many blocks, and well, no, I mean, it really doesn't matter, does it? I'd say it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's just 11 blocks. So right here would be the next powered rail. And then the next powered rail from this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, right here. So if I were to do that, so that it's 11, it shifts over here. That way, it's going to be 11 on this side, 11 till the next powered rail on that side, and then this will be, that'll be 22, and this is 23. So then it all lines up, and the minor adjustment is right in the center. I'm definitely not going to care as much over with the, over further on the path when we're going to be turning a little more drastically, but for now, since I can, and since it aligns so conveniently, I'll put up with it here. The next big thing to deal with is this is going to come out right here, and for a little bit, it's going to be over quite a, quite a drop. So what I think I might do is build up like a stone retaining wall in this area and kind of have the terrain gradually form to meet at this level. Because that way I don't have to do a bunch of terraforming and it, still makes sense. Because I can't say I'm a huge fan of like floating stuff. Yes, and I'd like to try and keep my builds grounded in some sense of reality. But yeah, I think that would be an effective solution to that problem. Editor Tiavaltic stopping by quickly. I just want to remind you all to make sure to claim your Minecraft 15th anniversary cape. It is free on the Minecraft page, their website. You can redeem it. And honestly, it looks quite cool. I think they did a good job with it. It is a little unrelated to old Minecraft, but I am still involved with new Minecraft and kind of keeping up with the times, so although I'm sure you've heard it elsewhere, I am here to remind you, get it. I put the link to the page in the description, so you can just go down there and click on it and check it out. Make sure you claim it. I think I've got it pretty well figured out here. I tried to make it so that it kind of starts the curve a little more gradually. So it goes 5 blocks, and then 4 blocks, and then does the 3 blocks. Until it gets over here, and it does 4 blocks, and then 5 blocks, and then it's just going to be the straightaway. Although, honestly, I could probably get away with just moving this over to here. And then it's the 5 blocks right along here. And then it, yeah, no, yeah, that looks good. And then it'll just be straight across with the bridge. But yeah, I mean, I don't want it to just go, oh, we're going immediately this way. It's just kind of a gradual into the curve, and then There it is. I just hope that in this version, the camera still tracked to the rails. So like if I was in a minecart and it made a turn this way, my camera automatically turns this way to align with the way the track's going. So I hope that doesn't look too terrible on this. I know it looks fine on like perfect 45s, but I'm not sure how it'll do on the varied look of this. But that will be something that we find out. And maybe some changes need to be made. Maybe not. I think that's about all I'm going to do for this episode. I don't quite have the time to completely finish the bridge. Or not the bridge, but the railway. At least this part of it. I'll definitely be working on this next episode. It won't take very long because I've already got the idea kind of skeletoned out and the pathway or the route that it's going to take figured out. So really that's the difficult part out of the way. But for now, I mean, if you are still watching, I appreciate your viewership. If you liked the video, feel free to like it, and if you didn't, dislike it. And if you really enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. And either way, I mean, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them, and I wish you the best in your day-to-day.